Undisputed Facts. This is the Undisputed Facts portion of the motion for summary judgment response. This is one reading that's extracted from the 160-page document. Undisputed Facts. In Exhibit 188, the description or word choice of climate is what U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder speaks of working to greatly change in reference to the crime in East St. Louis, Illinois, and surrounding communities and other places. As I feel, so does Attorney Holder. There are some great people that live in or work in East St. Louis, Illinois, and surrounding communities. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder said, "We need to do a good assessment to be effective at our jobs. We have to try to figure out ways to plug the holes." Saturday Night Live, which airs on NBC, used the choice of words hellhole in reference to East St. Louis or those manufacturing its crime. Exhibit 8. Bob Shannon, the former football coach for East St. Louis Senior High, wrote in his book, The Right Kind of Heroes, that Lincoln Senior High people on the school board are still getting even with East St. Louis Senior High for what was done to them many years ago. Page 66. He wrote that Lincoln people do not like him, and it is as if they are in a time warp. Page 44. He wrote that East St. Louis makes him nostalgic for Mississippi, and that he had no enemy until coming to East St. Louis, and that some people will just not like you for no reason. Page 200. He wrote that some black people are trying to keep black kids from succeeding. Page 203. A former principal would catch a lot of the political flack about Coach Bob Shannon and said this statement about Coach Shannon. His remarks about the stadium in the paper brought the wrath of God down on me. Page 26. I shared of this book and my intentions with the Illinois licensed attorney that I was led to expose. To try to end the climate, hellhole, or employment discrimination against me, I used, and I'm quoting some notes and phrases from a document. As you witnessed in the 2009 meeting, once again, it was needed for me to try to end linked terrorist, gang, organized crime, sorority, clique, supremacist, evil, etc. kind of behavior. Another quote here, or phrase, it mentions communicating with you at Bush, 1915 North 55th Street, brief meeting. And also, it mentions an email. These are little notes that Donna Cameron would surely relate to. Back to the document here. Defendant's Exhibit 10 is where these phrases are written. Going on with the document here. Donna Cameron improperly, regularly increased my assignment and asked for another new report to be completed, and a section of it asked for any other pertinent information. Donna Cameron directed disorderly conduct toward me on 8/24/09. I stopped working on an added assignment and walked away to try to call for help. I reminded her in this excerpt of her 8/24/09 disorderly conduct and previous misconduct by joining others that I had previously shared of with her. Defendant, my Exhibit 13 relates. Certainly, if Donna Cameron had been confused about her requested comment, she would have displayed her district-condoned disorderly conduct toward me. Through an email, a call, or a visit, but she had no response because we had already discussed the misconduct of others referred to in the text. Exhibit 13. Exhibit 71, 76, 106, and other requested reports. In a document only composed for General Service Employees Local 382 to only draw information from, and prepared for if it was used further, to try to end the climate, Exhibit 188, Hellhole, Exhibit 8, or employment discrimination against me, I used, as with the mischief of street gangs, with my heterosexual and Adam and Eve views, concern for students, staff, the community, and more, I wrote President Barack Obama and asked for help with the climate, Exhibit 188, Hellhole, Exhibit 8, street gang problems. President Barack Obama stated during an interview that a part about pure love in the movie The Godfather made this movie be his favorite movie. I imagined the other contents of the movie and all to help him to help East St. Louis, Illinois, and surrounding communities with the climate, hellhole, street gang problem. Additional exhibit. This is an external complaint. The 5/27/09 mailing to President Obama is what this refers to. Also mentioned here is Exhibits 1 and 28. A pastor stated that there was a curse on the city, Exhibit 60. This pastor participated in a civil rights summit, Exhibit 1. Another pastor on the school district's financial advisory board hosted the civil rights summit, Exhibit 1. The components of society, politics, religion, education, family, and the economy have been lacking, and I am fortunate to say that my childhood was safe, comfortable, and fun. Signs of trouble were few. Exhibits 28 and 29. And my life has continued to be as such, except for so much employment discrimination and other bullies. Going on with the document. Losses of reliable resources and discrimination on different levels has caused delays and setbacks with my education and life events. My lifestyle, as I was raised to be, is based on heterosexual, monogamous, and biblical principles. I always strive to live responsibly. I look forward to marriage or family and other desires of my heart. Some college relates to my educational level. I attended Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri, and gained some of my education. As always, I continue to be competent, as reflected in my documents required for employment with the district. Found no evidence of physical or mental illness that In Exhibit 42, regarding my workplace-related injury, patient appears well-developed, well-nourished, and with good attention to hygiene and body habits. Exhibit 130. And regarding my workplace-related hand injury, on physical exam, this is a well-developed, well-nourished female in no acute distress. It also mentions that I am alert. Exhibit 131. When lesser bound by aftermath of discrimination, I am known to be a leader, creative, independent, and adventurous. I was wise enough to put that particular statement in the 20-page revised document that I had to submit. Going on with the letter here, the Undisputed Facts. The Undisputed Facts, I said. In Exhibit 160, Lonzo Greenwood responded by saying that he would have to get by there after asking where did I live, after I asked him about employment in 2004. I responded by telling him that his sexual advances were not welcome, but still his pressure continued and he retaliated against me. I was temporarily hired in 2005, Exhibit 34. In 2006, I was hired for full-time work, Exhibit 46. During brief conversations with Lonzo Greenwood, I refused his voluntary offers of a higher-paying full-time position and 2 summer school positions and expressed that I liked the media technician position that I had, which was to work at 558 North 27th Street with students in the computer lab, and I unofficially helped in the library because no librarian was hired. Exhibits 55, 56, and 46. September 2008 marks the period that Donna Cameron replaced the supervisor of instructional media. Exhibit 57. I was advised to attend a workshop at one of the 2 schools on State Street, write the grants at 558 North 27th Street, and only a limited number of schools in District 189 were said to be offered to write. And eventually I selected and received new books. Exhibit 51. Lily Scobie was hired as a library consultant, and I was to help her with excessive work to fully reorganize the library at 558 North 27th Street, which included discarding some old books and adding new books, which lasted for approximately 12 school year weeks. Exhibits 109 and 81. Kathy Walker Steele visited and said that she had heard about the mood in the library and began a meeting. As Lily Scobie gave false and misleading information, Rowena Lewis interrupted her and unsuccessfully tried to have Kathy Walker Steele to put the false and misleading information on paper. Exhibits 109, 61, and 50. I shared of the intentional delays of Lily Scobie and Kathy Walker Steele. I shared of the intentional delays of Lily Scobie with Kathy Walker Steele, which I asked Alvin Parks Jr. to share with Lonzo Greenwood, since Alvin Parks Jr. said he did not like being contacted directly. Lonzo Greenwood's response was said to be gently in favor of Lily Scobie. In this media that talks about the case, I have paused to share that I was led back to the East St. Louis area and to query and find the reason why. I introduced myself to Alvin Parks and asked him to run for mayor. He said that some other people had asked that too. He asked for a biblically based theme, and I suggested life more abundantly. And that was my business with him, trying to be within the reason that I was directed back to have closer ties with the community. Back here to the documents of Undisputed Facts. Kathy Walker Steele asked of which position had I been hired to fill, meaning to work in the computer lab or the library. An employee in the building, who was later revealed to be special to Kathy Walker Steele, began to take over my job by assisting students in the computer lab and library. As Rowena Lewis finished visiting the employee in the computer lab, she stated to me that this employee would be working in the computer lab until the end of the school year. Donna Cameron assigned me to begin attending workshops at Lewis and Clark Library Systems in Edwardsville, Illinois, and positioned her car, her vehicle, to block my path, for her to watch me walk toward her, and for her to invite me to lunch. I declined. I am a heterosexual, Exhibit 62. And I will add here that she showed some behavior that I was not comfortable with, which will be discussed. Kathy Walker Steele passed through the lab and then library of 558 North 27th and exited into the hallway. Kathy Walker Steele and Rowena Lewis returned and passed through the library and lab and then back to the library. And Kathy Walker Steele asked the students to visit the library. I answered by saying that Rowena Lewis told the staff that it was optional and that some classes came regularly, sporadically. I shared that after the secretary came and personally invited me to attend a play in the gym, an employee, Kathy Walker Steele's later revealed special person, was leading preschool children to put books back onto the shelves after having allowed them to have taken them off. Exhibit 61. Kathy Walker Steele became angry and said that it was not optional, and I invited her to ask Rowena Lewis for a 4/17/09 email that I sent her, which mentioned optional, and it revealed religious discrimination. Exhibit 61. It revealed religious and other discrimination, I should add. As they exited, Kathy Walker Steele aggressively asked Rowena Lewis for the 4/17/09 email. Minutes later, the secretary used all speakers on the premises instead of those in my work area to call me to the office. When I arrived, Rowena Lewis stood a distance away and aggressively told me to go to the Board of Education. When I arrived at the Board of Education, I was eventually allowed to enter the office of Teresa Saunders, and Kathy Walker Steele was seated in her office. Teresa Saunders told me that she wanted to know about the 4/17/09 email. I began to share of the odd behavior of the employee that was revealed to be special to Kathy Walker Steele, and Teresa Saunders asked Kathy Walker Steele if this was the same person that they had previously talked about, and Kathy Walker Steele confirmed that it was the same person. Teresa Saunders retaliated against me and said that I was being temporarily reassigned to a facility at 1915 North 55th Street to unpack some books and give students access to the library, and that I would float to different schools, and shared that the principal's name was Mary Davis. I'm sorry. Teresa Saunders mocked me by using a biblical or religious scripture and sending me to be retaliated against more. I reported to 1915 North 55th Street, and Mary Davis asked me for an assignment letter, and I expressed that I was not given one, and she eventually showed the books to me. Within about 2 days, I completed the work and began asking Donna Cameron to help me to return to 558 North 27th Street, and that I needed to speak with Teresa Saunders regarding the completed assignment, Exhibit 66. I informed Donna Cameron of a hand injury that I received while working at a school on Washington with library books in a small, crowded room, and she advised me to keep working with the dusty books as she unnecessarily visited and made comments at 2600 Bond Avenue, Exhibit 71. Donna Cameron revealed through an email that the increased harassing, excessive driving, and book handling assignments that she had begun to give me were being led by Kathy Walker Steele, Exhibits 80 and 81. In a meeting, Donna Cameron told other media technicians and librarians that I would be given excessive work by helping them to work with large shipments of books, Exhibits 79 and 81. After a period of encouraging unnecessary contact from me, her unnecessary visits to me, and her only receiving proper, basic, and brief response from me, Donna Cameron tried to end the excessive driving, excessive book work, sexual harassment, etc. with a finale, but failed to have me to react to her district condone 82409 disorderly conduct that she directed toward me at 1516 Gross Avenue, Exhibits 13, 89, 90, and 109. Donna Cameron left after her disorderly conduct and called me. Donna Cameron left after her disorderly conduct and called and told the library worker to advise me to remain at 1516 Grove. And after I returned from lunch, I learned that Donna Cameron said for me to drive back to 1915 North 55th Street, which made a second trip on 82409, Exhibits 81, 89, and 90. I want to stop here and add that at one point during this day, Donna Cameron spoke with me directly from what I discovered in some of the exhibits. The facts are always here, though. Going on with the document, I was called into the 1915 North 55th Street office from the library, and Donna Cameron and Mary Davis were in the office of Mary Davis. Donna Cameron failed to have a finale after reading a memo to me regarding her requesting an unwanted hearing. As in past times, she tried to provoke me with racially motivated actions and speech. She unnecessarily used and emphasized the word black and indicated laziness as she read, and even during a district-recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, she emphasized black. Exhibit 115. I'll stop here and mention that Exhibit 115 initially had two parts. One related to Mary Davis, The second part related to the 10609 unwarranted hearing. Now it's going to be available, the third part, which will be of the unwarranted hearing. District 189 failed to produce their copy that they clearly recorded. I informed attorneys, judges, that the possibility of additional exhibits always becoming available may occur, and so there will be a part 3 which will share of Donna Cameron's testimony. Going on with the document, I contacted General Service Employees Local 382 for help. I am a heterosexual, and I was sexually harassed by its representatives, Linda Baldwin and Bridget Howell. Exhibits 115 and 144. I received mail from Princess Hayes of scheduled and rescheduled Donna Cameron requested unwarranted hearings, which eventually took place on 10/6/09, and a related one took place on 5/3/10. I received no mail or incoming contact about Austin's canceled hearings. Even through state court, General Service Employees Local 382 revealed that they consented to the misconduct of District 189 by being represented by attorney Jared Horner, the attorney for the district. Exhibit 181. General Service Employees Local 382 was not fully dismissed from this case, as attorney Alan Turtle indicated. Only the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, named President Kim Haywood, who is a male, was dismissed from the General Service Employees Local 382 portion of the case with prejudice. I'll add here that 3 different attorneys from the defendant's firm represented them at different times. Going on with the document, I am a heterosexual, and Mary Davis stalked and sexually harassed me by waiting outside of the facility at 1915 North 55th Street for me to arrive. She reached for my hand and massaged it, and I pulled away. Quickly began to enter the facility, and when I looked back, she was watching me walk. Later, she mentioned my appropriately fitted blue jeans. Exhibit 115. I am a heterosexual, and Mary Davis stalked me by lingering in an attached room to the library where a window and a door allowed her to watch me walk to the front desk, and then she came and touched me on the back and whispered in a low voice, "Come talk to me." As she passed me and pushed the door to the hallway open, she canceled her sexually harassing request. I am a heterosexual, and because I resisted her sexual advances, Mary Davis began to have me to lift heavy chairs onto and off of the library tables unnecessarily. Exhibits 98, 99, 100, and 115. As with Rowena Lewis, feeling that the decision of bringing students to the library was optional, Exhibit 61, Mary Davis resisted preparing a library schedule, Exhibits 94, 98, 99, 100, and 115. I rejected the complimentary comments of Mary Davis regarding my red attire by asking her if she had chosen someone to unnecessarily lift the chairs onto and off of the tables and she angrily said no. Exhibits 98 and 99. When I arrived for the district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, Lonzo Greenwood walked past me and did not direct me to the room where the district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing would take place. In the district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, I asked to print out my response to the false and misleading, inconsistent, and unprofessionally formatted version of words that Mary Davis prepared, which were mentioned in this district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, and Lonzo Greenwood directed me to do it later. I mailed the responses to the document of Mary Davis and the recapitulation of the Donna Cameron requested district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing to General Service Employees Local 382 on 10909 and received no responses. Exhibit 115. During the 10609 district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, after Donna Cameron testified to Linda Baldwin that her 8/24/09 disorderly conduct toward me only ended after I stopped working on an added assignment and went to try to call for help. Lonzo Greenwood asked of my version. I confirmed that I had to stop working on an added assignment to try to call for help. Exhibits 115. After Lonzo Greenwood individually asked all who attended the district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing if there was anything further, I very briefly shared of the climate that attorney Eric Holder speaks of working to greatly change in reference to the crime in East St. Louis, Illinois, and surrounding communities. As I feel, so does Attorney Holder. There are some great people that live in or work in East St. Louis, Illinois, and surrounding communities. Exhibit 188. I shared of ripple, snowball, domino, etc. effects of harassment, which even involved the church, and Lavandia May Neely asked about the church matter. I shared that during the 2/18/09 meeting, because I shared of Rowena Lewis and I being members of the same church, Kathy Walker still asked Rowena Lewis if she was bringing Friendship Missionary Baptist Church mess to work, to my work environment, and Rowena Lewis became silent and did not deny it. Rowena Lewis had voluntarily named Christine Goff, formerly Dale, in this meeting as one who she may have been retaliating against me for. Exhibit 109. Outside of the Donna Cameron District recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, General Service Employees Local 382 officials supposedly, as just before going into the district recorded unwarranted hearing, met with me. Linda Baldwin informed me that I was being placed on a leave after and outside of the district recorded Donna Cameron 10609 unwarranted hearing. Linda Baldwin did not define the reason for the unwarranted leave. Outside of this Donna Cameron district recorded 10609 unwarranted hearing, Linda Baldwin said that union officials would contact me. She asked for my telephone number, and Bridget Howell made a note of it. Kim Haywood, who was a male, just waited nearby. I am a heterosexual. Bridget Howell began to touch me and tried to lead me into the stairwell as I exited 1005 State Street after the Donna Cameron district recorded unwarranted hearing, Exhibit 115. I'll stop here and add that Part 3 of Exhibit 115, that I informed the attorneys and the judges that other exhibits would probably become available. Exhibit 115 again will now have a Part 3, and at the end of the audio recording, you can hear me saying that they can hear, meaning anybody who was around could hear whatever Bridget Howell said that she had to share with me in the stairwell. And I wrote in court documents that exhibits may become available. Once again, District 189 failed to produce their audio recording of the unwarranted hearing. Going on with this document of Undisputed Facts, Linda Baldwin, Vice President, Bridget Howell, Secretary, Nora Kim Haywood, who is a male, and President. These three General Service Employees, Local 382 representatives, never called as they said they would. Kim Haywood rung my phone last on 7/22/11, but did not leave a message before he rung it to give me a new number for him, and before he rung it and said it was by accident. About 30 days after the Donna Cameron District recorded 10-609 unwarranted hearing and undefined and unwarranted leave, Princess Hayes left a message, and I returned her call, and she advised me to report to the Board of Education for an assignment letter. I reported for an assignment letter, and an unidentified employee gave me the assignment letter. I'm sorry, an unidentified employee gave the assignment letter to me, which has a signature of Latoya Greenwood on it, and it stated that I should report to 125 South 10th Street to make this correction. And I left for the assignment, Exhibit 117. I began to receive mail regarding a future unwarranted request of the district. Donna Cameron continued to stalk me after I arrived at 125 South 10th Street, and as in past times, she asked me another unnecessary question to initiate unnecessary conversation. She used a desk phone near me in the library and left. After I drove back to 125 South 10th Street from lunch, the principal at 125 South 10th read an email from Teresa Saunders to me from the computer. It said that I should report to 2600 Kansas Avenue, where at that point temporary, suspended, and GED seeking students attended. I sent an 11/10/09 email to Teresa Saunders and went to 2600 Kansas Avenue, Exhibit 119. This was the school where I attended my first 7 school years, and in the room that I was assigned to be in is where I attended my first year, which was kindergarten. I would like to stop here and say that as in Exhibit 28, I believe it is, my childhood was safe, comfortable, and fun. Signs of trouble were few, and I hope things continue that way. I've learned that it's not a bad idea to let people know if you were fortunate. Carrying on here with the letter. Emma Smith Hamilton was the principal at 2600 Kansas Avenue, and I composed a document and responded to her harassment and very first job evaluation that was ever attempted by the district regarding me, and I submitted it to Princess Hayes. Exhibits 144, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 141, and 145. I sustained a foot injury while at 2600 Kansas Avenue and began to try to get help with the injury to my foot, and once again, my Donna Cameron and Lonzo Greenwood reported work-related hand injury. Exhibits 128, 131, 140, 142, 143, 150, 151, 77, 119, 130, and 131. Regarding calling for help with the 82409 disorderly conduct of Donna Cameron and my not responding to an unwarranted and unreasonable request during a Donna Cameron related District 189 recorder 5310 unwarranted hearing, I was placed on another undefined leave by Lonzo Greenwood. During this district recorded 5310 unwarranted hearing, Lonzo Greenwood directed me to wait on a letter to come through U.S. mail within 5 days. In an attempt to interfere with my receiving unemployment benefits, this letter came a number of days after the 5 days. Illinois Department of Employment Security officials confirmed that the district failed to discharge its responsibilities. Exhibit 29. Being that 5310 was used by the district as the wrongful termination date in the wrongful termination letter, the deadline was missed but extended by officials because of the mischief. Exhibit 29. I was unfairly denied benefits because I am a heterosexual and rejected the sexual advances of Mary Davis and the different staff that sexually harassed me. Exhibit 27. On 5/18/10, I attended the board meeting, placed a defending document at the empty seats of board members, and it was voted that my job was being wrongfully terminated during this voting that was led by Lonzo Greenwood. Exhibit 160. Judge Roberta Schallenberger quickly ended the 8/4/10 telephone appeal hearing after I responded in stating that I am a heterosexual, after Princess Hayes revealed that because I refused the sexual advances of Mary Davis and some other staff and refused to do an unwarranted and unreasonable request of the district to discuss this as a topic in an unwarranted requested setting, my job was wrongfully terminated. Still, I was denied unemployment benefits. Major changes came about with the equal employment opportunity as my case remained there in their continued delays and odd behavior. The investigator in my case was reassigned. I was eventually given the right to sue the district and union. Exhibits 171 and 177. As I visited to request my Equal Employment Opportunity Commission file on 7/3/12, I learned that retirements and more reassignments had followed. I continue to comply with the judge's orders in order to finally have a needed, true, and consistent court-appointed attorney assigned to my case. Here's a quote. During our meeting on 6/12/13, Adam Rucker shared that he only had about an hour to meet and shared that he was working on my case free of charge, that he finished law school only several years ago, that he was not a seasoned attorney, that he worked as a defense attorney, and he shared that I could request a different court-appointed attorney because he had not handled a case like mine. He did not feel that he would be effective. Excerpt from a 2013 court file motion to deny attorney withdrawal based on false and misleading information, and an attempt to avoid a catch-22. That was my motion that I filed. Here's another quote. The court appoints Attorney Joshua Michael Pearson to represent plaintiff for all further proceedings. Excerpt from an 8/28/13 memorandum and order. According to Illinois Registration and Disciplinary Commission telephone representative, from 11/8/13 through 11/12/13, the information in the database related to Joshua Michael Pearson was so new that it was not available through iradc.org for the public to access. Still, the representative shared that he was only licensed as an Illinois attorney on 10/31/13 and have not taken the oath. During the 11/8/13 hearing, Mr. Pearson was asked to share all reasons for requesting to withdraw, and he said that because of ethical reasons, he filed a motion to withdraw. Joshua Pearson works with the law firm Sowers and Wolf in St. Louis, Missouri. Attorney Eric Sowers accompanied Attorney Pearson in the 11/8/13 hearing. Excerpt from a 2013 filed motion for an attorney to deny withdrawal based on false and misleading information and an attempt to avoid a catch-22 and more. This again was my motion. Undisputed Facts is what this particular piece came from. Yes, there were some typos, but overall those are the general or the basic content